That's interesting.
I can remember the first time I ever heard Walking in Memphis. It was in the car, and it was, started, and I remember turning it up and listening to it, and at the end just kind of saying, whoa, where did that come from? Where did that come from?
Well, I mean, I did actually take a trip to Memphis back in 1986. I was trying to break a little bit of writer's block back then, too. I didn't have a record deal, but I was a songwriter, and I was dreaming of the kinds of songs I wanted to write, but I hadn't written them yet. And Memphis, of course, is a place where lots of great music has been made. So I went there just in search of some inspiration, and to make a pretty long story short, I got it. The centerpiece of that song is the woman I talk about at the end, named Muriel, who's a real, honest-to-God person who unfortunately passed away a few years ago before it was a hit. But she heard the song after I wrote it. I went back to Memphis to play it for her. And I knew when I wrote that song that it was the beginning of me lessening the distance between what I was hearing in my head and what actually was a real song. That felt to me like the first time I found my voice, quote unquote.
That is your signature song, clearly. What's it like for you when you hear the cover versions of that? I know, for instance, Tom Jones has covered it.
That's right.
Cher has covered it. I don't know how many others, but what's it like for you when you hear them?
Well, it depends on the version. It's a compliment. I mean, it's as they say, sometimes imitation is the best form of flattery, and some of the versions actually sound to me exactly like mine, just with a different singer. I just heard a Paul Anka version, though, that's with a big band and a swing version, which is, I don't know what to think of it, but at least I tip my hat that it's different. The chords are all different, the phrasing's all different, the rhythm's all different. And, I mean, I enjoy it just because this, this piece of work that I created seems to have really resonated with a lot of people, and especially other artists who want to play it. That's a great, great thing. I love having songs of mine covered. It doesn't mean I would sit and listen to them. I've never felt like an epiphany listening to any of these covers, but I enjoy it.
The thing that I get the sense that you still find the most rewarding is simply that one-on-one connection with an audience in a live performance.
Yeah, when the band is firing on all cylinders and the crowd is too, nothing tops that. I mean, songwriting is a very solitary thing. It can be really fantastic if you come up with something great. I love the process. But it's quiet and it's alone. And making a record is more collaborative, but it's also a lot of up days followed by some bad ones, and you're not sure where you are in the process from time to time. The live performance is the only thing that's completely in the moment. You can't change anything. It is what it is, and there's an energy about that is fantastic. And this last run of shows we've been doing for the last couple of weeks almost have been the most fun I've ever had on the road.
Why so?
Well, I think I was ready to get back out on the road. It doesn't feel like I'm just doing this to promote the record or because the record company said so. I'm a big boy now, almost 50 years old, so I mean, I'm doing this because I believe in these songs, I believe in this record, and I love my band. I mean, it's the biggest band I've ever had on the road. That's a big, big part of it. A lot of what I did on the record can really be played now live. Not exactly like the record, but it's a filled out sound, which is fun as a singer to be able to present.
Are we going to have to wait 8, 9 years for the next CD?
Probably.
Oh, really?
I mean, at some point you'll go back to me saying, oh no, it's going to be very short, and then you'll go, see, you were wrong again. Every time I've tried to make when I've released a record, I've said, the next one is going to be real fast. I'm just going to write a bunch of tunes, come out with the record in a year, and you see what's happened. It's just gotten increasingly, a bigger span of time. And I would love nothing more than to put out a record within another year or so. But as we were talking earlier, nowadays it's not even about selling records. I mean, I have a lot of B-sides from the past 10 years, really good songs that just didn't fit a particular record I was making. Now with the internet and other things, I may just put that out, or another live record, or so unfortunately it's not all about when's your next album coming out. I wish it was, but it's, in a way, the record industry has caught up with me. I don't make them very often, and people don't buy them.
All right, we'll let that be the last word. I know you got to go do sound check.
All right.
It was fun talking to you. Thanks very much.